Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Jason, and I'm the beard behind Red Massive. Um, I just wanted to come on today and just kind of talk, just kind of be myself for a bit. I usually create videos, and I have clients that I create those for, different companies and stuff. But um, I wanted to just sort of speak from the heart, and hopefully, I don't know if anybody ever watches this. Hopefully, this can help you. Hopefully, this can inspire you to be a better person, or maybe I don't know. Maybe you'll find some knowledge in this that you have needed for a while. So, basically, what I'm going to talk about today uh, is just how you can carry on after a failure, or when you feel like giving up, like what you do. Um, I think everybody in their lives has been to a point where you just want to completely stop what you're doing. You feel like either what you're doing is not profitable, or you're just not enjoying your life anymore, or you're not enjoying your work, or whatever. I think we've all been in those times. Man, I've been going through that lately. I uh, have always had very strong passions, but for very short periods of time. And I'm discovering about myself that um, that is a pattern. Now, I can look at that pattern and say, man, that's a bad thing. I need to change that. Or I can try to find what kind of passion fits that pattern because that's what feels the best to me. It feels the best to work on things for a very short period of time. And I mean, I'm talking like goals, for example. It feels the best to me to work on big dreams, come up with some kind of big plan, some big creative vision, and then move on to the next one. That's what I do. That's what I love to do. That's what I enjoy doing. Uh, I think birthing those creative babies is what really gives me joy. I don't know why, but I'm just a dreamer. I always have been. I don't carry on projects for very long, very successfully. So that's something that I could work on, or I could try to find a passion that fits that. Um, Whatever your case may be, um, when you feel like giving up, here are just a few things that might help you. The first thing you should do, in my opinion, is to take sort of an in-depth look at what you're filtering, and or excuse me, how you're filtering what you perceive. Okay, um, everything that comes in to our senses, ears, eyes, everything that we can sense, essentially has a filter of some kind. When we smell certain things, it reminds us of places or people, and can put us in a mood. Certain scents can put us in a mood. Certain things that we see can make us viscerally sick to our stomachs or whatever. Um, so the filter is our brain. It's our previous experiences. It's all the things that we've experienced before. And if your filter is dirty, you've got to clean it. Um, Maybe don't even clean it. Just throw that filter away and get a new one altogether. Because you're the only one that can control how you feel. Um, you're the only one that can control what you say, what you do, and who you let influence your life. Um, just don't let your entire life that you get, the one thing that you get, don't let it all go to waste just because you have a dirty filter. You know, um, change that out, and here's how you do that practically. Okay, I can say change that filter all day long, but it doesn't make any sense unless you know what I'm talking about. Um, when you hear, let's say you're at work, okay, and you've got a coworker that is constantly just biting at you. You know, maybe that's the person that you hate to see the most. I don't know. Think of someone in your life that fits that description. Um, Anytime they speak, you immediately have that filter. It might be a parent. It might be a parent, it might be your husband or your wife. When that person speaks, you hear them in a certain tone, or when you think about what they say, you hear them in a certain tone. That's a filter in your mind. You can change how you feel about that person It may take you a while. Sure, it's not overnight. It doesn't always have to be overnight. It doesn't have to be instant. But you can change how you feel about that person, or about that situation. That's your filter that we're talking about here. Um, so moving on a little bit, I guess point number two. If there's going to be a point, um, when you feel like giving up, um, it could be time to reevaluate your circle of influence. Okay, you've got a circle of influence around you: friends, family, coworkers. Um, Remember the song "These Are the People in Your Neighborhood"? This is from Sesame Street. All of those people, that's kind of your circle of influence. It gets kind of wider and looser as it goes out. Um, but basically, your main circle of influence is who you hang out with the most. Um, you know, maybe your barber, maybe whatever, your accountant. That's your circle of influence, I guess. People that you talk to. Um, could be a large list, could be a small list. We all have that circle of people who, sort of have a direct line to our lives. And I, I don't know. I think depending on who is in that circle, we tend to put up walls that can either block out harm or keep ourselves sort of private. And whether consciously or not, I think every action is somewhat affected uh, by those that surround us. Um, so doesn't it make sense that if you surround yourself with greatness, that you would also maybe learn the skills that it takes to also be great? I don't know. That's the way it seems to work. Um, so if you feel like giving up, maybe just consider changing your circle of influence, changing the people that you hang out with every day. Change the people, change the voices that you let speak to you. Whenever you feel like giving up, think about who you're hanging out with. Think about what kind of words you're hearing, what kind of words you're being told on a daily basis. Um, and so also, I guess here's point number three. I keep coming up with these little ideas, and so this is point number three. Um, Sometimes giving up can be a result of like trying and failing. You've given it your best shot, and yet, um, despite your best efforts, you have failed. And maybe it's not just once or twice, but it's been like 10 or 12 times. Um, Maybe you're the type of person who's pushed so hard your whole life, and you've only found disappointment, discouragement, broken dreams. You know, at the end of your rainbow, there was no golden chest. Um, you've given every ounce of energy you have, toward this goal, and nothing ever seems to happen. It never seems to materialize for you. Um, Even for a seasoned, like kick-ass, hardworking person, um, failure is a beast. For someone who works hard and knows what success is, failure hurts. Um, but no matter what kind of beast it is, it, I've been kind of looking at studying some like mythology lately and stuff, and just saying the word beast makes me think of these giant creatures that ancient mythology tells us about. And if there's one thing I've learned from that mythology, it's that the beast can be slayed. You know, failure is not permanent. As long as you're breathing, like you're able to bring about change in your life. As long as you are free to move about the cabin, so to speak, you're able to change your life. You're able to do something positive. You can take a step the very next day. Right after you fail, take that day to chill. Go home and take a cold shower and start again the next day. Get out of bed and say, "This is the new me. I'm not going to live the way I lived before. This has changed." Um, I think that's a really frustrating one to hear sometimes. Um, but I've always felt in my life like whenever I fail the biggest, whenever I make the biggest failure or the biggest mistake, that's when I really need to keep, like, I need to keep pushing. That's a sure sign that I need to keep pushing. Because failure is not a finish line. Failure is not a place to stop. Um, when you feel like giving up, you've got to keep pushing because you're probably almost there. Um, I can look back at my life, and just see every time that I really was like close to making it, or close to being what I wanted to, or accomplishing what I wanted to do. Um, if I failed and quit, you know, nothing would ever come of it. But if I really persevered and kept pushing on, it was almost always success. So let's see what else. Um, you guys know, like, I could tell you all kinds of stories of people who have um, sort of failed miserably and still somehow ended up being famous. Um, we all know the story of the GOAT, Michael Jordan, having not qualified for his junior high basketball team, and then he works his butt off and makes it, and becomes Michael Jordan that we all know. Um, People like Katy Perry, people like Abraham Lincoln, like, you guys should go and Google all the failures that Abraham Lincoln had. Um, there were many races that he ran for, political races that he lost, and just many in a row, and just could never get any traction. And eventually, the guy became president, and changed the face of a country, literally. I mean, he Abraham Lincoln was, one of the best, greatest presidents we've ever had. And if he would have stopped, if he would have quit, who knows? You know, he obviously wouldn't have been the president if he would have quit. But who knows what would have happened? Um, so I think I'm going to keep it kind of short, but hopefully, like, if you're watching this for some odd reason, I don't expect anybody to really watch it, but if you are, and you need encouragement in your life, just know that everybody fails, everybody messes up, and that's no excuse for you not to try again. It's no excuse for you to just sit back and dream without putting any action to those dreams. That's not fair. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to the dreams that you have. It's not fair to the people that will be affected by those dreams. Some of you guys, I watch a lot of creators on YouTube that kind of talk like what I'm doing right now, and I hear the heart behind what they want to do. I hear the heart behind, coming together and making something that everyone can enjoy, and making something that's accessible for everybody and every, body type. And like, I love that stuff. I love compassion, and I love when people can come together and agree on just loving each other. Why can't that be the thing that we agree on? Like, we don't have to agree on religion. We don't have to agree on a lot of what we believe, I guess. But why can't we just believe in love, right? Um, so that's my side point. Anyway, to wrap it all up, what I've said here in a nutshell. Um, Change these three things in your life, and I promise you that you will see some kind of result. Number one, replace your filter. Get the filter out of your head that you are messed up, that you're bad, that you're a horrible person. Quit thinking um, that you're bound to be in trouble all the time. Quit thinking that you're bound to fail. Replace that filter, because that's got to be step number one. If you don't believe that you're worth it, if you don't believe that you are worth the effort of trying again, or if you don't believe that you have what it takes because everybody's always told you that you don't, number one, I would say make sure that you have what it takes. If you're not good at the thing that you do, then go practice. And I think life is practice. Everything that you do should be practiced. Always try to get better at something. I'm not by any means the best commercial maker or filmmaker or coach or anything, or encourager. I'm not the best at any of that, but that's not going to stop me from trying. Um, because my filter has been replaced, and I know that every bit of positivity that I can put out will come back to me, and it will help others. So I'm rambling. Replace your filter. Number one. Number two. Reevaluate your circle of influence. Um, check the people that you hang around. Think about what they're telling you. Think about what you hear every day. Are they saying, "Yeah, go for that. You can do that"? Are they saying, you probably shouldn't do that. You know you're not good at that kind of stuff." I don't know. I think encouragement goes a long way, and the encouragement of a good friend goes a long way, and also the discouragement of a good friend goes a long way. I think discouragement from a close friend is really hard to handle because you're always used to hearing positivity from them. They're your best friend. You're always used to hearing, um, hey man, I don't know, let's go hang out. Let's do stuff together. But when they tell you something negative, it almost feels like a harder punch in the gut, you know. Um, but you have to have friends around you that will do that because that's what makes you better. That's how you get better. So reevaluate your circle of influence. Number three, keep pushing because you're probably almost there. Um, I've I've determined that I'm gonna keep pushing no matter what. You know, hiccups will come and mistakes will happen, and you know, my goal is to just be the best me that I can and don't screw it up. I, you know, what else can I do? My life goals, and you'll find this out the more of these little videos I put out. If you watch these, you'll know. Um, my heart really is. I want everybody to be happy. I want everyone to find happiness. I want everyone to know that you have inside of you a such a great gift, you know, and encouragement is something that we all need. So I don't know. I just want to be that guy that says keep pushing. You're almost there. Keep going. Um, that's all I got for right now. I don't know. I might do this more often. I think it's probably good for me to do this. Uh, I don't know that anyone will ever see this, but if you do, thanks for watching. And I hope that you get just everything you want out of life. I hope life treats you better than it's ever treated me. I want better for you than I want for me, and that's saying something because I want some really good stuff for myself too. Um, love you guys, and have nothing but love for everybody. And I hope that I don't know. I just hope you feel the warmth. I hope you feel the love.